so you're aware. I want to welcome all of you that are here tonight with us via Zoom. This has been an amazing month. Every single Wednesday for this month has been just so amazing. I've learned so much from a lot of you, from those that have come to speak. We had some amazing couples over the last 3 weeks just come and just bless us. And so tonight, this is a culmination of everything we have discussed. And the question that is on the table tonight is, why do I need to get married? Because you've heard several different conversations, you've heard several different opinions, testimonies, and the question on the table is, why do I need to get married? Key word is, why do I need to get married, right? Of course, we have some vets in the house. I want to welcome Sis Denise Fawoli, who is a major leader in our Harvest campus here in Olney. She served. How many years you been with Harvest now, sis? I mean, how long?
I came in 1992.
Good God Almighty.
Yeah, and I've been serving with Pastor Chris. I started the dance ministry initially, and I was with the dance ministry until I had my children. And then I've been serving with Pastor Chris in the marriage and family ministries for 15 years.
Wow. So that's a lot of experience here tonight, a lot of experience. We're just blessed to have you here, and all of you that have come.
A lot of mistake making and recovery. That's what I call
come
it.
on, that's it. That's what makes experience, right? If you don't miss it a few times, then you're not going to be able to teach nobody.
Sorry, right. Pastor Fanny. Sis Denise, can you tell them what you said before you started working with Pastor Chris? How long you were doing before you had your children? Can you tell them again?
I was here. I came in 92. I started the dance ministry. Since I've been a believer, I've never not served in ministry. I think that's you're required to. So I was in the dance ministry until I had my son will be 15. I was pregnant teaching dance when we had Bethel North, I think at Priscilla Jew's real estate office.
It's just pregnant. for the young adults who were in dance ministry, youth now, and they just think they can't do that anymore. That's all. Thanks, sis. Thanks for letting them know.
You're welcome.
Say experience. Somebody go ahead and put that in the chat. Experience. Yeah, awesome. We thank you, sis. And I mean, like I said, it's exciting tonight to have this discussion. Like I said, the question is, why do I need to get married? And of course, we had last week's conversation with the Walkers was really interesting. And we had some amazing insight from some of you on this call. Some of you dropped some real bombs, and it was beautiful. And I think it prompted this conversation tonight, because I think a lot of times, Hollywood has fantasized and mesmerized. And, I was laughing. My wife corners me a lot, and we watch Lifetime Movie Network here and there. And I laugh at their concept of marriage a lot. It's a lot of drama and a lot of, all this stuff. And so anyway, the story is this: marriage is a journey. Marriage is a marathon. It's not a sprint, And tonight we want to dig deep into 4 points. We want to look into some things that I believe will really help us to consider the need. Okay, there's a need. Okay, now I'm not saying everybody's going to get married. I would be remiss to say everybody. Paul said it. Look, if you can stay away from it, that's fine. But there is a need, especially in our day and age, where there's just this polluted version of love and relationships, and the redefinition of marriage and all these different things. And if we're going to see the will of God propelled into the next generation, until the return of Christ, I really believe, this is my personal opinion, I believe that there is a need more than ever for godly marriages, a strong Christian base, Jesus-filled marriages. Okay, so there's 4 questions we're going to ask tonight that we're going to hopefully cover. The first one is, how should a believer prepare for marriage? How should a believer prepare for marriage? Every journey requires preparation. Marriage is a trip, like I said before, and you can't just jump into it if you're not prepared. Okay, so that the first question we're going to ask is, how should a believer prepare? The second question we're going to address is, what does it mean to position yourself before marriage? If you're not properly positioned, you'll probably find yourself, misguided and misled. And if you're a husband, you're misleading your wife. If you're a wife, you're misleading your children, so on and so forth. The third question is, what is the purpose of marriage? What is the purpose of marriage? If when you know the purpose of a thing, you won't misuse it. A lot of folks enter into marriage and, there's a lot of misunderstandings. And so we don't know what the real purpose is. And then, of course, the final would be, what is God's ultimate plan for marriage? So tonight we're going to be digging into those things. We're going to be looking at those questions. Feel free to open up and share your heart, young men that are on this call, young women that are on this call. We really want to hear from you. We want to know what your thoughts are. I don't claim to know it all. I'm sure those of us on here that have been married for years now, this will be my 22nd year. Glory be to God Almighty. So I got a little something, but I know I don't have it all figured out, right? And I'm sure none of the leaders here are claiming that, but we do know a few things. And I'm hoping that we can give some insight in regards to the questions that we have here. So with that being said, Sis Sandrine, anything you want to drop in before we break out into these groups? Any thoughts that our people need to know?
I think, Pastor Bonnie, you said it all. Just that we are going to have some amazing women here. Sis Denise already introduced herself. I think I saw Sis Stephanie. I don't know if she's gone, but she's going to be here too. Sis Nicole and has been married for how many years? 22 years, Pastor Bonnie just said. And, so the ladies, you have, all these specialists here tonight. So please don't forget to ask all the questions that you have. If you have not prepared your questions yet, go ahead and do so. If you have not invited your friend, look, it's still time to invite them. I see that we are 28 on the call. Every single one of us can still invite somebody to come and benefit from what we have. Pastor Vanya, I don't know if Henry is here to be with you, because the breakout room are going to be ladies on one side and the men, the young men on the other end. So we'll have Pastor Vonnie there, and Pastor Vonnie, are you going to be with it? Is it just you?
Yeah, for now it's just me.
Okay, so we hope Henry joins, but look, Pastor Vonnie already has a lot of experience, so don't be afraid to ask him all the questions that you have. Ladies, take advantage of the ladies who are going to be there. Please, Sis Denise is here. She does marital counseling. So whatever question you have, if you are trying to get engaged or whatever, I don't know what is your situation right now. Please, she's here today. And don't forget that today is the last Wednesday session that we have on marriage and relationship before we end with the session we are having on Saturday. Okay, so I'm going to drop the line at some point because I have another meeting, but please take advantage of this time and these wonderful women that are here. For ladies, I'm not going to speak for the men, but somebody is going to take care of you guys, but I know we are going to be fine. But that's it, Pastor Vonnie.
Perfect. So the rooms are open. Please feel free to go to the rooms and join the room, and then let's have some conversations. Let's talk about it. And Nicole, please record your room. You should be able to record the session in your room, okay?
Hold out one. So we planned to have a dinner. You had to dress up like you were from that country. You had to cook something from that country. You had to learn a phrase or a statement from that country. So we came together. I think it was Italy the first time we did it. And then it was somewhere in Latin America the second time. But we came together dressed like we were, these Italian peasants, and we had all the food. It was so much fun. Something like that, first of all, it takes you a week or two to plan it. So you're busy because you still have life, you still have work and all those things. You're not thinking on husband. You're looking through recipes. You're looking for clothing items to, and then you have this wonderful evening of different wonderful food. We had a contest. Who remembered the phrase from that language, and they won a gift. Look at how much fun. That was 2 weeks planning, and it ended in a beautiful time. We didn't think about what we were missing. We thought about how fun our life was.
Amen. That's a good idea that we are going to implement very soon.
You can do it as a ministry.
Yeah.
Looks like y'all had some fun up in there, boy. Look, this thing right here, we might have to do a part 5 or something. Good Lord.
Hey.
Yeah, Shedrick, you a
That's facts,
mid-course.
man. That's facts.
I think I was sent to the women's session.
No, this is the and we all got kicked out into the main room, my brother.
We got kicked out. Oh, get kicked into the main room. Okay, that's good. All right.
Yeah, we're back in the main room. That's our brother Shedrick from all the way Australia. He's out you're in Adelaide, right?
Yeah, I'm in Adelaide right now.
Yeah, all the way Australia, coming to hang out with us tonight, man. So thank you for dropping by. He was dropping some knowledge on his experience in the breakout room. Yeah.
I mean, this is good. This is good stuff. I'm learning a lot because as I was saying before, I'm at a stage where I want to settle down and looking, I mean, asking God to bring me somebody, that I can be with for a lifetime. I'm just this, there's been some ups and downs, but I'm just trusting that for His divine intervention. Yeah. So there's some questions I have, but if we can't go through all today. So, but next time I can ask some questions, put it in the chat and stuff. But I learned a lot tonight. Thank you guys. Thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you, bro. Yeah, we're gonna have to run this back on some level. So no worries. We got your back, homie.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah. Ladies, y'all look like y'all had way too much fun. Y'all want to let us know how much fun y'all had?
We was lit. It's only for the women to know, okay? It's for the women to know. It's not we sharing it.
What's that thing? Cuckoo Jumuku.
Cuckoo Jumuku, okay.
You're not inside, you not know, okay?
Elaborate for our non-Liberians. What does it mean?
Right. I don't know what you're talking about.
If you're not inserted, you're not know it. Which means
that is serious speaking. Stop it. Guy, then they will learn the Kuku Jumoku. You're not inside? You know it.
Thank you. You weren't there, so you can't know. That's what it means.
Really? Now we got a society going on. Denise, I'll blame you. I just blame you and Sandrine and Nicole. Y'all done started something.
But any ladies here can share a little bit what just some takes for the boys so they see that we are prepared. We are not playing, we are not joking.
Nope. Prepare your position, you know your purpose, you got a plan. Okay. QJ.
Anybody can share.
Yeah, so I think what we talked about and what I took away from our conversation is just that, like, as women, like, I think a lot of the time, like, for some reason we have this idea that you're meant to be like preparing yourself for marriage, but like it's a lot more about preparing yourself as a person to live a godly life. And like we talked a lot about being whole and kind of walking in the calling that God has for your life. And like, if it is God's will for you to get married, like whoever your husband is going to find you. You know what I mean? And like, don't be sitting around waiting to live your life until you get married. God is calling you to be alive and live a full life every day that you are alive, whether that's when you're single or when you're married. So I think that's what I took away from the conversation that we had.
That's good.
Powerful.
Excellent.
Any other lady? That was so beautifully said.
I also took away something from it when Sis Denise was saying about how, if you do like someone, you really need to pay attention to what their calling is, because it's not so much as being attracted to someone. It's more about, the gifts and the callings being married to each other too, because they also have to complement each other. So I thought that was a very, very important point.
Definitely.
Excellent.
Vanessa, I see Vanessa. And then Gina. Vanessa, go ahead.
So she said something. It was a verse, he that finds a good wife finds a good thing. And she had mentioned how it's not until you get married before you're considered a wife. It's characteristics as you build up. So it's not until you say I do before you are a wife. I do just symbolizes that, hey, I'm married now, but while you're single is, I guess, how you work to becoming that wife. So when he looks at you, he already sees that characteristic in you. And it's the same thing with, I guess, having a child. It's not until, I guess, you can't have the label without having the characteristics of what it takes to be that person. So like a woman, she can't be a mother unless she's given birth, you know? So it's the same thing. You have to find those characteristics in that person before you're entitled to that label. And so that's something that, like, it was as soon as we got into the call, she said it, and I had to get my notes, and I was like, oh, that's so good. And yeah.
It was lit, Pastor Bonnie. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah, I can feel the fire. I feel
it's still burning. It's still burning. Go ahead.
What I took from that session was that don't get married for the wrong reason. Married, don't just marry because you want to fulfill a desire, a sexual desire. Also, while you're waiting, prepare yourself as a lady, serve God in that time or period. That skills that you're learning to prepare yourself, that's what is going to be used in that marriage. So that's what I learned.
Powerful, powerful. I mean, if the husbands are here and listening, listen very carefully. These ladies here, they don't play. They are not playing. So if you are the husband right here and listen very carefully. This ones right here, listen. They don't play. They do not play. Any other lady wants to share with this young fella here?
The fella's got something for you. So just go ahead, keep it doing.
Any other lady? Oh, should we be gentle women and let the guys share? All right, Pastor Bonnie, we are going to allow the guys to share.
Absolutely, fellas. Feel free to chime on in.
Anybody, I know you. I mean, don't even be shy. Don't even pretend to be shy here. Like Dylan, come on. Where are the men? I
mean, we talked about a lot. So there's a lot to take in. A lot of things that we talked about. The most things that stuck out is, as was mentioned not just so long ago, that the purposes align. And we also talked about unequal yokes, and we talked about in agricultural settings how when you yoke two animals and one is much bigger than the other one, then you yoke them for the plow and your lines aren't going to be straight. The bigger animal will be tugging and pulling at the weaker one, and it just won't work. We also talked about we talked about deliverances going into marriage to not bring from the past things that we have done or said or whatever it may be into the marriage. We talked about finances, being financially stable. They jokingly said it, but there's a lot of truth to it. Your credit score and all that kind of stuff that do play a big role in starting a family and being married.
Yeah.
I could go on, but I want to let someone else talk.
Yeah, that was powerful. You don't want to marry somebody, he's there owing $5,000 million and he want nope. Please take care of your life first before you even start thinking about talking to nope.
Keep it moving if that's the case, right?
First. Please be delivered even before you open your eyes to see me. Please, please don't. Any other guy, please.
Dylan, you're laughing too hard. Hold us down, Dylan. Hold us down. Oh, man.
Anyone else here? You don't have a job. You say, oh, I like you so much. I like your eyes. When you smile, I see the stars of heaven. You don't even have a job. to take care of your own self. Yes, Rome. Go ahead, Rome.
Yeah, one thing that stood out to me that we talked about was boundaries. You feel me? A lot of times we go into marriages without establishing boundaries. Like, I forgot what brother had mentioned it. Like somebody else, like the wife may have grown up a certain way, the husband may have grown up a certain way, bro, and they both think they're right in their own sense, bro. But it causes a collision in the marriage. You know what I mean? But if you don't establish that before that, bro, that's an unnecessary problem that you shouldn't have had in the first place. That's going to sprout up. You know what I'm saying? Also, thinking marriage is just going to be sweet the whole ride. As they said, the first 5 years may be the hardest. You know what I'm saying? If you go into a marriage thinking it's just going to be like sweet 24/7, bro, you're lying to yourself. And you bring that false expectation, bro, you might make divorce an option, bro, because you're letting yourself down before the marriage is even started. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, though.
Yep.
Pastor Vonnie, you fed this young man. Oh my God, that was. Marriage is not a ticket to happiness. If you are getting married because you want to be happy, you will be disappointed the first day. Thank you, Rome. Any other man? Yeah, go ahead, Dylan. I see you talking. You're on mute.
No, we can't hear you.
Can you hear me now?
Yep.
All right. Yeah. I was tardy, so I only picked up a few things, but one thing I did catch was kind of becoming, putting yourself in a certain position mentally and financially before you're able to kind of make that decision. For example, you can't be going in that thing with empty pockets. Knowing your responsibility and your roles, you know, especially that protection provision part is also very much important as well. You can't just be like a bum if you want to get married. That should be a given. So kind of understand like your position, understand your position, talking about how Adam, if he had understood his position and he had fulfilled his role, that maybe you know what Eve did maybe wouldn't have happened. So kind of standing at that door and playing your position, that was something we kind of touched on.
It was powerful. Powerful. Anyone else wants to add something?
We're the head, and we're called to lead the family.
Yeah.
To kind of add on.
Yes, definitely. Women are looking for visionary people who have a vision, and that's the only reason why they are going to submit, because they are submitting to a mission. But if you come, you don't even know where you are going. Like, you want me to buy you glasses and then to perform a miracle for you to see. Am I God? I know the Holy Spirit lives inside of me and I've received, you know, the gift, but please, you do your deliverance first before you come. I'm not going to deliver nobody. I'm not going to change you in the marriage. So you do everything that is. Go ahead, Isaiah. Sorry, this mama is talking too much. Go ahead, Isaiah.
No, you good. I don't know who it was that said that we was the head, but yeah. Always hits hard when we talk about that part, because it's like, it's not the head in the world, in the way that the world wants to see you, but rather in the way that Scripture puts it, as servant leadership, because it always ties us, or we always make that parallel with Christ and the church being the bride, whereas men, we're supposed to serve and lead in the way that Christ served the church. So, yeah.
Amen. That's powerful, because there are lazy men out there. You're not coming to nobody's house with that laziness attitude. Nope. If you cannot be a servant leader, then you cannot get married. Go and find yourself somebody who, sorry. Go ahead, really.
I'm done with you. Let me mute myself. I laugh too hard. Willie, please.
On that note of being a leader and servant leadership and all that, we were talking about, you touched on submission and submitting to a vision and whatever. It's very easy to talk about, at least for men, to talk about submission and for it to just roll off your tongue, right? But your Bible and my Bible says, husbands, love your wives. That's the first one it says. That's the first one. Husbands, love your wives. Wives, submit to your husbands. They submit as you love. That means when she's doing foolishness, love and wait for her to submit. When she's crazy, love, wait for her to submit. When she's not listening, love, wait for her to submit. When she's running around, love, wait for her to submit. And this is for leaders everywhere. This isn't just like you can watch it happen. It doesn't have to be in marriage. I've seen it in my own. I'm not married. I've seen it in my own life. Love the people around you. Watch them submit to you. The next time it comes around, the next time they realize, oh, I can't even. I'm telling you, don't raise your voice and see what happens. I have 3 siblings who are basically my children. Don't yell. Wait to see what happens. Don't scream. Wait to see what happens. Don't fight. Wait to see what happens. The next time you start talking, just straighten right up. So it's the same thing with women. And here's one thing too. I don't know if you guys mentioned it on the women's side, but submission is not ownership; it's leadership. That's one thing that this world has wrong. Because every single time I speak to any female about submission, the moment that word leaves my mouth, they start freaking out because, oh no, you're doing this thing where you try to make us slaves and you're taking us back to the 60s and we have no voting rights. And I didn't say any of that. I don't care about your voting. Don't vote. That's none of my business. But your submission is only as far as your submission only goes as far as my integrity goes. I'll put it that way. Your submission only goes as far as my integrity goes. So if you can't look at me and say, this is a guy who will touch God to find his answers before he tries to come tell me something. If that's not where it is, that's not a person you should submit to. Please, for the sake of yourself, find that out before you start. Oh, I want my ring and my house and my whatever. You know, find out about what's going on with him first. If he has integrity, and for the men, right? Be someone of integrity, someone worthy of being submitted to. That when you're angry to the height
God.
of when you're angry up to, you have the amount of maturity and self-control to shut up and take it. Turn your back, learn to go sit down, just leave it alone. Sometimes they're dealing with something you don't even know. Other times they're just bothering you just to bother you. Whatever it is, your job isn't to yell and kick and scream and punch it. Who are you proving yourself to? Just wait. Okay, your God will fight your battles for you. He'll go and he'll yell at them in the secret place if he wants to. And when you come back, your thing will be fine. So that's just that's my little.
So how old are you, sir?
16.
Yes, Sister Denise, please. Sister Denise, go ahead.
I don't even know what I was going to say. That was so good. That was so good. And let me tell you something. When you love her the way Christ told you to, you won't have to ask for submission. Women were created. We were wired to nurture. We are wired to take care of. We're wired to serve. That's how we take care of the babies and we serve. We're wired that way. So that's how we respond to love. We respond to love, not with just a thank you, but with love. So the submitting that some have to beg for, it would come naturally if we're loved that way. If we feel loved and we feel appreciated, it would come naturally. That's how we're wired.
Yeah. Thank you, really. So every time you see a lady, if she's not loving, not doing what you wanted her to do, just check yourself. Stop accusing women. Oh, you did this, you did that. Ha ha ha. Ho ho ho. He. All the he's and ho ho ho. Please check your own self. You certainly did not do what you were supposed. Yeah, Shedrick. Sorry, I'm talking too much. Shedrick.
Yeah. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. One thing I really learned, or I'm going to take away from this section, is that constant gratification would never bring lasting joy to us. You know, it will only rob us of our true happiness in our marriages. So we are to sacrifice for our spouse in joy, with joy. So for joy, Christ gave himself in our place. He was able to give himself. That's why it says in Hebrews 12:2 that looking to Jesus, the founder and perfecter of our faith, who for the joy that was set before him endured the cross, despising the shame, and is seated at the right hand of God. So let it be for our joy that we sacrifice for our spouse.
Amen.
You know, sometimes you sacrifice, but you're sacrificing, you know, not happy. You're like, oh, this is a chore. This is something I have to do. I have to sacrifice. So you have to sacrifice being happy. You know, going to do the laundry. You're excited. You're singing. You know, you're going to the shop. You're doing the groceries. Being excited, not like, oh, I have to do this. You know, so if we do it in joy, in happiness, that's going to bring lasting joy and happiness in our marriage, which is the relationship between Christ and the church being displayed as well for us to see as an example to follow as people being married or wanting to be married. Yeah, I think that's what I really learned about. Yeah, thanks.
Definitely. Thank you. Thank you for sharing. Let me take Jojo.
Yeah, just to add to what I'm sorry, if y'all hear noise, I'm washing clothes. But just to add to what he was saying about joy, these couple, they got a divorce, and the man was talking about, like, you know, when two people have to compromise too much of themselves, their relationship doesn't work out. And so, like, he was just doing stuff, obviously not because he was happy, but because he wanted to make her happy. And it made me think, like, why do people get in relationships with people knowing that they're going to have to change a lot of who they are and they don't want to?
Powerful. And Kofi, see your hand. Okay.
I wanted to just add something very quickly to, because I know when I was growing up, I never, that whole like idea of, oh, you have to cook and clean and do this and that, you know, I think, but as I grow and as I mature, as much as we want the men to fulfill their position, their role, as much as providing and being able to sustain the house, being able to protect us, you know, just as much as we want them to play their role, we also, if you have that mindset that you can't see yourself being like cooking and cleaning, like you have to understand we also have a role to play as well. I'm not saying that like, yeah, you have to be doing all the cooking and cleaning. Of course, there's going to be maybe some type of compromise, some type of something you're going to have to figure out with your husband, you know, that makes your house work. But don't go into it thinking that, you know, that
she's going to be cooking and you're going to be eating.
Yeah.
I'm not going to cook every day. If you cannot cook, you will starve.
Like, obviously there needs to be a balance, you know, someone, you cannot put all the cleaning and the cooking on one person. But as women, we need to come to that. We need to be content with the fact that it will fall on us though. Not saying it will all be on us, but it will fall on us though. Like, we need to be okay with that and do it with pleasure, do it happily. Like Tanti Sandrine said, we are naturally we are to nurture, we are to take care of something. So naturally it's going to fall on us. So it's important that we do it with a smile on our face. It's important that we do it happily. You know, like I said, it won't fall all on us, but the majority of it might.
All right, Pastor Vanya, I truly believe that our group here has matured. I believe that this month of February, we have learned a lot. And some of us here, I see Zoom user. Who is Zoom user?
It's Antonio.
Oh, okay.
Antonio. Go
Okay,
ahead, bro.
Go ahead.
I was just gonna just respond to Ann Kofi about, you know, what she was saying. I mean, I understand what she's saying, but at the end of the day, to whomever it is, between the two, it's just compromise. You know, that's what it's just gonna fall down to, like communication and compromise. As long as y'all working it out together, it really won't even matter, man. It's all about your happiness, what you building for each other. So like the cooking, the cleaning, it's if you're doing it together, you spending time together. It's just all that matters is about what y'all building together. That's what marriage is, or the relationship is. What you building together. So that's all I had to say.
And just to add to it, if once you love and care about that person, it won't be like, oh, who cooking, who you cooking. I love to cook for my husband.
Exactly.
It's a privilege. I'd rather he keep get out of it. I just love to feed him. So that's something it will just come natural. It's not, oh, okay, you cooking? Oh, yeah, I'm not cooking, you're not eating. It's not that. Seriously.
It's not a competition.
See,
not here to compete, you're here to complete.
The key thing you said, Anthony, is that you like to cook. See?
No, I didn't say I like to cook. I said I love to cook for him.
Yeah,
it's not something. And where I'm coming from, people seeing why I gotta cook, my grandma never wanted me to see me in a kitchen. Let me be very real. So it's not something I learned from home. No, if I left with my home, I would have never known how to cook. Even my family members, when I cooked, they'd a joke about, hey, really she cook? And my cousin would be saying, yeah, you see her food because I was her last child. And then when my father died young, my grandma never wanted to even see me in the kitchen. I used to hide with my neighbor. I used to go to my neighbor because I had a neighbor in my in the yard. The lady always used to, and her daughter used to do this. We just say play cook, and when her mom cooked something, and that's how I learned how to cook, because I decided to do it or something. But then when I married my husband, and first he would tell you, the very first food he ate, when he ate, not even fresh food, cold food from the icebox that he ate, and he fell in love. Imagine with a fresh hot one. So I mean, once you and that person, is that something it's something y'all will do. That's something you will like doing for him. Maybe it'll not be for cooking, it may be for something else. But like I said, it's something I cherish. It's something I love to do for him. I just love to when I cook and how when he eats and like, oh my God, that's how I cooking. I develop it more. So it's not something I like. And even with him, even our room, he mix up the bed. Sometimes I'm not even out of the bed. He make out son. I gotta tell you, okay, babe, you gotta wait some more. I'm ready to get out of the bed yet. So it's something y'all will do. It will come natural. I mean, now it seems like, okay, something like sister, and he said she had to eat. She knows she had to eat, so she had to learn how to cook because she got to eat. So if something come natural, and I'd be like, oh, it'll be something because you will like, babe, we're not going to restaurant today. I'm going to, sometimes you be on YouTube, you're trying to fix something, surprise him when he comes home. It's a feeling. It comes natural.
Auntie Nikki is not saying that the guys here should be looking for a wife who knows how to cook. That's not what she's saying.
No, that's not what I'm saying. It was was saying or whatever. So I'm just telling her sometimes cooking, it will come naturally. It's just something that you just want to see when you put your food on the table and he comes home and he look at it like, wow, she can do this. So it's not something he's looking for. But when you saw, it for me to surprise him with different things. It is same thing with some men. Some men don't even know how to make up their own bed in their house. But when they get married, they gotta start like, you know what? Let me please her when she walked in. Oh my God, you made up this bed, or you straightened out the room. There's things you want to do to please, and not just buying the clothes and whatever. No, it's like when I come from work, let me see like the kitchen clean, the kids. My husband will make sure the children the children put stuff together. Like, look, my wife coming. I don't want her to talk so much. I just want her to rest herself. And you look at it like, oh wow, he cares. There's things. So men themselves will learn how to. So many boys there over there. You want to be honest, your own bed, you don't know how to make it up in the morning if your man don't holler you. So please, I'm being serious. But when you marry, you will start making a bed that you will be like, oh my God, let me make her feel good. And she's a tired woman, and a tired woman, you won't get nothing good from a tired woman. Seriously.
Very serious. You can't cook. Making your bed, you cannot make your bed. And you are thinking about getting married. To marry to who? Who is going to marry you? Your own bed, you cannot make. Cooking, you cannot cook for yourself. You cannot do anything. Even brush your own teeth, you cannot. What can you do? Why do you want to be a liability to somebody? You're going to get married to be a liability. No, nobody is going to marry nobody who is a liability. So please, take care of yourself. First of all, with that being said, we are moving next month because we are going to stay here. First of all, I don't know. I see hands. I don't know if these hands are raised or these hands are...
Yeah, I wanted to say something.
Oh my God. All right.
Yeah, you guys were talking about all the ladies cooking and all that. That's nice, well. But yeah, it is important for gentlemen to learn to do those things as well too. I don't think that any man should be incapable of doing anything in the household. The lady is the helpmate does not mean that the man should be incapable or should not know how to do anything in the house. Now, there's no necessarily thing that's reserved for the ladies or the gentlemen in general. Gender roles, they could be subjective, but as a man, as a leader of the household, if you're going to be a leader of anything, you should know how to navigate anything that you're leading. So why wouldn't you know how to manage your own household? Does not mean you have to micromanage or do everything, but you should at least know the basics. But yeah, that's all I wanted to say.
Good. Yeah, really pushing for this thing to go into the next month, huh? They're really pushing for this thing to go into the next month. What's wrong with y'all? This must be a sweet spot.
But Pastor Vanya, I was going to say that next month, the theme for next month is personal development.
Yeah, that's good.
And that's what I was going to say. This is a transition to that topic. This topic here that we are discussing, personal development, of course, cooking and doing all these things, learning even to take care of yourself. That's personal development, developing yourself first, even before you get into that other stage of your life. Yeah. Okay, all the things that Dylan is saying, you need to learn how. Ask Willie. There are days Willie comes here. He comes in my room, looks at me like, this woman, she doesn't look like somebody who cooked here today. She goes in the kitchen, open she didn't cook. Okay, he cooks his own food. Really?
Really?
Cook for you every day? No. This mama is not going to cook for nobody every day. This mommy right here is tired. You know how many kids I have? And a husband and a grandma. And you expect me to die for you when Jesus Christ already died for everybody.
I am done.
So next month, we are going to discuss personal development. I truly believe that this topic, I believe that we have to move this topic and continue this conversation for next month for personal development, because there are certain things that we have to, to learn to do. We have to discuss these things. Division of labor, starting talking about division of labor, because I guarantee you a lot of couples are divorcing because they never found a middle ground regarding division of labor. It's a big issue in marriages. A lot of African people, I thank God I'm not from Africa. A lot of African people think that the woman, her place is in the kitchen. All she has to do is cook so he can eat. She has to clean, to sweep, she has to do everything. And on top of that, she has to be a wife and a mother. And she has to be God. She has to perform miracles and everything. That's how some African men, I'm not talking about you here. I said African men, I know you are not from Africa. That's how some men think. And a lot of marriages are suffering because they never made a decision. They never understood what it is to divide, to divide labor. There is work at home. So this conversation, we are going to move it. Some of us grew up in families where the dad and the mom, that's how they were raised, and they can only teach you what they've learned. They don't know better. But look, we have experience in certain things. So we are just going to discuss that topic later. I see hands. I don't know if these hands are raised. Are they raised or these are old these people are people who ask questions before.
Let me
Yeah.
say something, bro.
Oh,
Like, go ahead.
no, you can go ahead because I was trying to bring it to our next event that's happening, but you can go ahead.
Yeah.
All right, Pete. I gonna hate me, bro. You know what I'm saying? Cause ain't no way, man. Ain't no way I can't throw some rice in a little cooker joint for like 15 minutes, bro. I ain't asking for no some sweet gourmet stuff. Fine dining, bro. You feel me, bro? Ain't none of that. A little bit of rice, you know what I'm saying? A little bit of veggies. You feel me? Possibly a protein shake, bro. There's no waste, man. Not complaining about throwing something on the stove, bro. Ain't no way.
Anyone, you guys are just cracking. Okay. Okay, I see other hands. Okay, if you are not raising your hand, can you lower your hand or should I lower your hand? So we are taking the last hands that are raised. Pastor Bonnie, your children are.
For more of this, come through this Saturday. Tammy, go right ahead so we can wrap up.
Okay.
Yeah, so the conversation is getting really juicy and I like it. So Saturday is going to be an extension of this conversation. We're going to be talking about, what we have been talking about throughout the month of February. We're going to be having our panelists from different ranges, from newlyweds to, those who've been married for a minute now, and just free for all to come ask your questions and have a good time. Refreshments are going to be provided. So long as you're within the DMV area. Of course, those of you who are not in the DMV area, we're going to miss you, but we're having it in person this year. So we're thankful for that. And then also games here and there to have a chance for people to win a gift card. So come out this Saturday at 16227 Bachelor's First Road. You guys know the address already. So, we going to stream it too on IG? Oh, okay. Yeah, so everyone gets to participate then. Yeah. But that's on Saturday at 6 p.m. We're going to be having worship before the panel discussion though. But yeah, it's going to be an opportunity to have everyone be there. And am I missing anything, Pastor V?
Nope, that's it. Invite a friend, bring the folks through, and let's see what it do.
All right.
Yep. But this is excellent, y'all. Man, hands down. This month has been amazing. It's been an amazing time. And like Sis Sandrine said, we're going to transition into next month. Still riding this wave, still kind of, I really think preparation is key. And you all are right at the place where you are ready to make some life decisions. So you got to be prepared for the next step. So don't think, next one, we're not talking about boyfriend, girlfriend, so I'm not coming. Like, you need to be here. All right. Yeah. Before you even jump the gun, you need to make sure you got some bullets for it. All right. And preparation is key. So that's where I'm at tonight. But thank you all. Thank you for your time. You all have been patient. You've been great sports. And we just want to praise the Lord for what he has done in Harvest through these young people, you young adults, and you leaders. Amen. Amen.
Amen.
Any prayer requests before we go? Anybody needs prayer for anything? Let me stop this recording real quick. Anybody needs